Hey, everybody. Hopefully, you guys are having a great day wherever you are. I'm speaking to you today as a tired person who just finished editing this podcast in my onesie. I'm drowsy, but I'm happy that I managed to get this done to post on time. Real quick, I do have a new blog post up where I talk about how you can try to remember your dreams and what to do with that. So check that out if you feel like it. Anyway, this week I sat down in Los Angeles, otherwise known as LA. I could have just said that. To follow up with my friend Billy, that you guys may have met in episode 1 of this podcast. He was about to go to New York when we recorded the first time, and now he's back. And he sat down to chat with me about his experiences there, among other random stuff, of course. So, with that, here's my conversation with Billy Galewood.
All right. How are you? How was your day?
My day was very interesting. It was challenging to my thought processes of life. Been up in LA all day.
Yeah, that'll do it to you.
I know. I did a little coasting around, just checking out the neighborhoods.
Any you like?
I went through this area. I dug it. I've been told that I should check around the Hollywood areas.
Yeah, more like West Hollywood.
West Hollywood.
Hollywood's on the up, but
North Hollywood cheaper.
North Hollywood cheaper over the hill.
Mm-hmm.
Hollywood get I sound like a caveman. Hollywood get better over the hill. North Hollywood under come up gentrification. But it is. It's on the. I lived there for a year before I lived here. I've lived in this place 14 months on my own. And for the first time in my life, I love this area.
For the first time in your life.
First time in my life. I'm 41. I know it's hard to believe, but I'm 41.
So youthful over there. Looking all youthful.
And no, just me because I'm immature and I can't believe I actually pay my bills every month. And people go, "What do you do?" I'm like, "Well, it's complicated."
You know, I have a steady job, but every month when I send in the rent, I look at my dogs and I go, "Hey, we got someplace to live for another month.
Oh,
we did
yeah.
it. We did it, dogs."
Yeah, I look at my
We're
one
good.
goldfish who just came back from my goldfish is in therapy right now. That's why I'm burning that Michael Jackson candle next to it.
Well, that'll heal anybody.
Yeah, you know what, my dear friend and manager Roxanne Oldham, I let her feed. She said she could take care of my fish for a month, and since she's not here to defend herself, I might as well just lay it out there. She felt bad because my goldfish is in a fish bowl. And the bowl was a little stinky. It probably needed a water change when I brought it over there. And she bought the fish a water, what do they call those things? Filter, or like a filter.
A little baby filtration
No,
system.
yeah, but it wasn't baby. It was as big as the bowl was. It was like bowl on bowl, it looked like. Till it fell over, shot all the water out. When I came home, there was 2 inches of water in there. He was traumatized, almost floating sideways.
No.
And then the motor was on like whoa,
Yeah.
and he was just had to be traumatized. Luckily, he has the memory of like 8 seconds, and
Yeah.
he's just fine. He don't
I
know
hope
what the
so.
fuck. He don't know what happened.
But he made it.
But
Does he have a
made it.
name?
Oliver.
Oh, that's a good fish
I
name.
bought him for the middle name of my nephew,
Okay. Yeah. That's nice.
who my great nephew actually, who came and visited me recently. So I bought him a goldfish, and we named him Oliver. He was only 6.5 months old, so he didn't say anything. He was but
Close enough.
yeah.
Close enough.
I do have the first time I ever made him laugh on video.
That's a special moment.
That's a special moment.
Yeah, it's rare.
I don't know where that video is, though. I got to go find it.
Do you have any video of you as a child?
Yeah, I have quite a bit.
Really? Because I have almost none. And I'm younger than you. Shouldn't I have more? Just technically
Yes.
by the just because of,
by default of technology.
You would think that people would be recording more.
Yeah.
I have so little to none. What is that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Well,
Jealous of you.
none of my sisters do. My sisters don't have video of them till they're probably like 23. I was in theater, so because of that, there was always videos. My parents always had a video camera, and
My parents were never very technically savvy when it came to those things.
they liked the video camera. We always were into our home movies. They were even into like slides, and like we even have reel to reel of my early childhood to my sisters before I was born. We have some reel to reel, which I'd love to get into at my parents' house and like, get that the real player going again and watch some of these old videos.
That'd be
It's
amazing.
so crazy that
Glimpse into the past there.
now, my nephew has an Instagram account. Like when he's older, he'll know exactly what he was like.
Yeah, we were
He'll
having this.
see the first time he
We
did
were having
everything.
this conversation the other day. I was having this conversation with a couple friends, and it was like, it's like good luck to the next generation finding a username. Like we've taken them all up.
Yeah, it's gonna
And she,
be.
she has a little kid, and I was like, you should lock it down for him right now. If it's
Yeah.
available, just lock it in for him. Give him the password later. He's got his own Gmail with his full name. Because oddly enough, like Diamond's my middle name, right?
Yeah.
Diamond's not my last name.
Oh, okay.
You don't even know that?
I didn't.
My name is Courtney Broussard.
Oh.
That was available at Gmail, but Courtney Diamond was not.
Yeah, I would imagine.
Which is, I don't know, but Broussard's a real last name. And in Louisiana, where my dad's family's from, he's from New Orleans. Broussard is a super common last name. So you'd think that like Courtney, which is a normal name, Broussard might have been taken because there's plenty of Broussards over there.
Broussard
but somebody
is a good
came up with
name.
Courtney Diamond. Do you like it? I wish I had a French accent because it sounds better with the French accent. But I don't have that.
Damour. You would have to drop the D. Damour. I don't know. That's really bad. I can't do any accent.
One time I did meet a person from France who said my last name with an accent, and I go, oh, that's what it's. Yeah, I was like, that's what it's supposed to sound like. So much better.
Broussard.
Yeah, and I can't do it.
I don't know. I just sound like somebody took out my tongue. Broussard. Like a vampire bit his own tongue out.
What is this? Speak kind of from the back of their throats or something.
Bleh.
Yeah, it's difficult. It's difficult. Technology.
That's the sound I say. That's the first thing I say to somebody. It's the first thing I do after somebody says yes to going on a date with me. Would you like to go on a date with me? And they're like, yes. I go, bleh. And then they go.
How do they take that?
Yeah, they instantly regret their yes.
They go,
But then they see that I'm an okay
sure.
guy. Eventually they ask me about it, and I tell them, and it's all good.
Yeah, as long as you get the chance to explain yourself.
Yeah, I've never.
It's all about getting past that first date. That's the struggle.
For me, it's all past like asking somebody on a date. And I don't even have to go on the date. Like I'm so like I can't believe that I've actually asked somebody out. I'd be like, wow. So, I don't even have to go because I'm just impressed with myself.
That was it. That's all I wanted to achieve.
Spineless man. Sometimes the return of the spineless man.
I'm sure it's scary. I'd be terrified to ask a man out on a date. If we were going to reverse the roles, which don't, because I'd prefer the men to take on that burden for me.
Okay.
Because it's stressful.
It is.
It's stressful. I feel bad for men having to take that role on. I get it. That's why if anybody's ever asked me and I've had to say no, I'm just so nice about it.
Did you say maybe?
Oh, God.
Because I have a whole diddly do on maybe being just a polite no.
What do you say though? What does someone want to hear if it's technically no, I'm not interested, but I'm trying to but I really do want to be nice. I still like you as a person. I still want us to be cool. What is the proper thing to say there?
No, I don't know. Just walk away.
Just say nothing to them and leave.
Just be like, yeah, we could have had a nice we could have been buddies. I seem to go through I think I use the buddy system. When I'm trying to I want to make it like, hey, I'm just hanging out. I'm just,
just a guy.
You want to you want to do something really non-threatening,
Yeah.
I'm like, what could be safe? There could be other people around? What is something that we don't have to do by ourselves? Like I don't really think like that, and I don't think like a 12-year-old girl. Like all the time, no offense, but I'm like all the time. You know what I'm talking about?
Like a 12-year-old girl. That's funny.
All right.
You went to New York.
Yeah. You want to hear my story?
I do want to hear your story. The last time we spoke, you were about to go to New York.
That's right.
You were very excited. I was excited for you because you were pumped.
Thank you.
You were pumped. And you said you did, 4 shows, but you wanted to stay there the whole month to really just kind of immerse yourself in a different environment.
28 days.
Yeah, that's a long time. I was in New York for 7 days, and that place was just swallowing me up.
Yeah. I'm going to go back, too, in August, I think.
Yeah? Did you like it?
Oh, well, yeah. And the one word that I've said has been my through line. It's been my go-to word when describing my 28-day New York immersion is humbling. Humbling.
Yeah.
New York City can hand you your bottom. There's certain things in my life that I do that put me at a certain stretch of my comfort zone, and as well show me exactly where I am at this moment in time. It's like going, yeah, this is exactly where you're at. And so now it's like choose your own adventure. When you get to that point where you're like, okay, now I have these three options. I can pay attention to this, this, or this. And I first got to New York. I'm pretty jazzed. I almost backed out of it 3 times because I just was feeling weird about it. My insecurities were kicking in really big. But I know that that's no reason to stop anything if you have insecurities or if you think something might not work out to your expectation. So my expectation of New York was go and have like a writer's retreat, total immersion. And it didn't turn out to be like that. In fact, I wrote a lot less than I thought I would. I went out a lot more than I thought I would. There was a lot of people that wanted to see me, which is great. I had people from college because that's where I went to college in 1995.
Oh, great.
And one of my dearest friends lives on Staten Island, so ended up going to Staten Island like 3 or 4 times and taking the Staten Island ferry. The ferry's really cool. It's really Staten Island. That Staten Island ferry is really cool. You get a beautiful every day or every time you go there, you get a view of the Statue of Liberty, and you're on a boat, and you can go outside. And the day I arrived, my friend goes, "Do you want to get on the Staten Island ferry and do something?" And I can't tell you what it is, but you'll make the front page of the paper. And I thought, no, I just got here.
The front page of that. I'm trying to imagine what that would be.
This is the same guy that gave me a bag of potato chips with mushrooms in them.
Well,
this
person's trying to get the party started.
Yeah, he knows how to get the party started. But I mean, like, don't trust him. Sometimes,
you
might get
started / don't trust this man. Ever.
But he's like my little brother. So I was like, no. But what they did was they did they went on the Staten Island ferry in the morning, and threw over a giant sign that was like #NoTrump. It was like a Trump protest. And they held it up there for like 7 minutes, and it made the paper, and it did get some attention. And CNN talked to them, and they got a guy with a boat to go out there and like take a picture.
Okay,
it was really cool. It was the first time Trump had been back since he was elected president. So
interesting.
Really cool. The energy of New York is enlightening. It's intense. I mean, I walked out the apartment one day, and there was 1,000-person protest of Spectrum, and there's just and now one thing about New York that's interesting is I immediately lost my social anxiety that exists for me here a bit in LA on the social scene.
Mm-hmm. What do you think that was?
Well, one, because I make it up. Because I make up that I have a social anxiety here. It's not real. I just decided that that's what I'll believe. So when I get there, I have the belief system that it doesn't exist, so it goes away. And on top of that, New Yorkers are more willing to go, hey, what's up with you?
They're very forward.
Very forward. I had a guitar.
Forward.
Somebody stopped me at a cab. Like, where you playing tonight? You got a thing? Where you got a show? What's going on?
Yeah.
The intensity, the constant, like, you are all these different amoebas of all these different types, sizes, races, everything just together exists.
With buildings
and you gotta
where you can't
get
even
along.
see the sky.
Yeah, well, I'm pretty sure you pretty much always see this.
You just gotta look completely.
You just gotta look straight up. Yeah. You know that term, straight up?
Yeah.
Comes from walking around New York City.
Weird. We stayed in the financial district when we were there. So we were really surrounded by the buildings.
Yeah.
But no, that's the main thing that I really felt with New York is I was like, these people are forward. These people are clear. They're not trying to hide. As far as like men approaching you.
Yeah.
Like guys would, it's kind of like here, guys travel in groups. Okay, they need groups usually to kind of lend them confidence that they're going to talk to women. They go out in a pack. Okay, like men there were flying solo. They don't care. Doesn't matter if you're in a dating scene or not. You can be on the sidewalk. Doesn't matter. They're staring at you. You make eye contact. A man in California, I feel, they look away, right? They look away when you look at them. Those New York guys hold your eye contact and look deeper at you.
Mm-hmm.
They're making it real clear. Yeah, I'm looking at you.
Very clear. Oops.
Like
very clear. I almost pulled the headphones up. Okay.
No, they're like, yeah, I'm looking at you. And the guys that spoke to us too, they get you in a handshake. They get you in a
They get you in a handshake.
Well, no, you're walking. You're going about your business. A man crosses paths with you. They just all of a sudden they'll be like, "Oh, hey, how are you guys doing?" They grab you by the hand, and they're kind of in a constant handshake while they're talking to you because you cannot exit that.
Wow.
So it's a way to keep your attention. It's a way to keep your physical attention there while they talk to you. But they just were not shy. They weren't shy, and they weren't traveling in groups. And they were like, "Yes, I'm looking at you. Yes, I'm interested. I'm going to try." You can say yes or no.
I'm going to try. Hey, that's...
You can say yes or no, but I'm going to do it anyway.
That's kind of nice.
And it was, it was pretty cool. It's a completely different culture than what it feels like here.
Yeah. So, well, I had bombed socially a couple times before I went there here. So I was all in my, it's got to be me. That is the issue.
Put yourself in a funk, huh?
Yeah, a bit. But when I was there, it was sort of lifted. I was going to some cool shows. I went to see the Revolution play, Prince's, the rest of Prince's band. I saw a YouTube stars, these 14 and 15-year-old YouTube stars, because I hang out with a lot of agents and stuff. So they're like, all right, come on with us to this show. And we go to this show, and it was all YouTube stars. And I was like, and then there's like miserable parents and 150 like 12-year-old girls. It was insane. And their show was basically a meet and greet. There was no show. They're like, okay, you guys.
Like, here they are in the real world.
We're going to do a little dance together. Everybody get your cameras out. What's up?
They did dances?
Yeah, puffy lips.
Oh.
Yeah, they did like dances together, and they sang songs together, and then their little brother came out, and everybody thought he was the cutest. You know? It's
I don't know.
Interesting.
Yeah, I'm curious to know which YouTubers these were. Were they very young? What's the age range of these YouTubers?
The performers or the audience?
The performers.
The performers were like, I don't know, 14 and 15 or 13 and 15. And then like there was like a 9-year-old who just looked clueless on stage. Like, he's like, I don't know what the hell just is happening.
I follow a couple YouTubers, but I believe they were their early 30s or late 20s.
It could have been these kids for all I know. That guy's
14-year-olds for me in my YouTube channel.
He could have been 35 for all I know. With all the
these days, people look fresh.
Yeah, all that stuff they sell on Instagram now to take out 9-inch blackheads out of your face, and
it's weird. My Instagram's getting full of ads.
I got an ad on my phone today sent to me, like an ad, and I was like, "What? You can't text me an ad or something."
Do you ever experience? And this sounds ridiculous, and I understand that. Do you ever experience that you're talking about something around your phone? You didn't search for it in Google, like you didn't put it physically into your phone, and then all of a sudden you get an ad on your phone that like is leading you to a product that you were talking about. Has that happened to you? That's happened to me and about 2 to 3 of my friends confirmed, where we're just talking about something and maybe like 10 minutes later our phones all of a sudden start giving us ads for something that we were speaking about around our phones. So now we have a running joke that we need to block our phone microphones if we're going to talk.
You just got to put Band-Aids all over everything. Camera, every feature you have on your phone, you need to cover up.
Yeah. You watch Black Mirror, that show?
I have been.
You seen the one where, then the new season, where like the kid gets blackmailed because they got a video of him doing inappropriate things in front of his laptop, and all these other people are getting blackmailed?
No.
Yeah. Or Mr. Robot. You seen that show?
I haven't watched Mr. Robot.
It's a good one too.
It's a little...
Makes you want to put tape basically on your laptop camera.
I mean, I know people that it's happened to. I know people that have been catfished.
Don't say that. Ooh, you know catfish people?
Yeah, but
I love that show.
Absolutely know catfish people. I know camera through the thing people.
Yep.
I know people that have, yeah. And then there's me who just doesn't, I'm just like, if you could do that to me, you'll get some crazy gymnastics. I do naked twister at night by myself.
Yeah?
Yeah.
By yourself.
Couple times a night. I get
but
up.
do you win?
Not usually. I usually lose to the ghost of Engelbert Humperdinck.
Okay. I'm okay with that.
I
Fine. He's tough.
Engie, I would call him.
If you knew him.
If I knew,
You
if
don't know
I
him in a
knew
real life way.
him.
So you're in New York.
Yeah, I have 4 shows. Then I picked up another show. I did a couple open mics.
How was that? What's an open mic like? What is the comparison between doing what you do here in LA and New York?
I feel like it's easier here.
Really?
I don't know. Well, I have a certain confidence here. New York's got a little rougher. I was also doing this weird variety show. Some nights we had great crowds, some nights we didn't. Or not that the crowds weren't great, that they were just low turnout. So I had some that were great and some that weren't. So you got to dig deep. This is where the humbling happens. You got to dig deep. And then you're doing shows and like, there might have been an agent or a person that I really wanted to like impress with the show and they didn't get it. Mm-hmm. But then again, there was somebody else that came that was like, what the hell was that? It was awesome. Like I loved it. So it was like a bit of mixed reviews, I think, you know what I mean? And then there's people that really want me to do Bushwalla, my old stage name, my old persona, my old thing. They were like, well, we like that. Yeah. And I'm like, okay, well, cool. Well, that just does, okay. It's not for everybody. So I realized also out there that, wow, I really am officially rebuilding my audience. That the realization that just because I had fans before as a musician doesn't mean they're going to come. They're going to keep coming.
The fickle world. It's fickle.
Fickle world.
Yeah.
Fee, fi, fickle, fum. It is a fickle world. And now I'm entering the world of stand-up comedy, which is like really great and also very humbling. Just the fact that it's so raw.
Yeah, I'd love to go watch it.
It's something else.
I really do. You were at the Comedy Store.
I was at the Comedy Store last night.
Yeah. I saw that.
That's awesome. And I was doing a show with this girl, Sarah Highlander, who we're releasing a video for. We did a song called Lady Juice. Yeah.
Okay.
Get your lady juice. Oh. And I rap in it.
Okay.
And it was her video premiere. We premiered it.
That's great.
And we had a show, and it's so great. I love performing at the Comedy Store. This was my
Which room are you in?
The belly room. That's the only room I'll probably perform in for a while. But I'm really happy because I've had good sets there. The ones that I've had. Yeah. Now a few people are like, "Hey," and that's like I know. Like one thing that I feel that that I've had good luck with is forming community. And then I can see when somebody's like, "Hey, what's up, dude? Billy, right?" Like that kind of stuff. I'm like, "Ooh, I know where this is going." Just because I'm meeting comics. There was comics I met in New York. There was comics I'm meeting here. Somebody hit me up tonight that I met last night. And they were like, "Come out to this open mic tonight," And I'm not above open mics right now. You know what I mean? It's like just. I need as much stage time as I can get. Like I did 2 hours.
It's good practice even, yeah.
It's just good practice. And it's also like sitting there and watching all these other dudes and girls and guys and girls that are like doing, they're working it every day. And some are young and some have no stage time.
Mm-hmm. Well, there's pressure. You can just go in and really kind of practice, right?
It's not, you got to sit there a long time. Everybody's a comic that you're up in front of, so it's kind of like it's hard to get laughs.
Everybody's a comic that you're up in front of,
usually at an open mic. Usually, like I went to one at the Improv last night. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it was kind of intense.
It's in a room of judgment.
Yeah, it was just a lot of comics, like 40 comics in that, 50 comics in that place, just watching, waiting to go. They're picking a lottery. Mm-hmm. So when I was in New York, I did a couple, and I got some laughs. It was funny because you always learn things at open mics. Like right now, my main focus is patience. Be patient. You don't have to just throw out, if they're laughing, like let them laugh a second. And one thing that happened to me in New York is one of the sets, my set was okay. You get like 5 minutes or something. And then something happened that was in between the joke. And it was my best laugh. And I'm like, what did I do? And I'm trying to, and I thought about it. So why did they laugh in the middle, in between? And it was just a gesture or something I did. And it's because I got really myself, my real me. I wasn't pulling anything over on anybody.
Mm-hmm.
And that's funny. That's what's funny. It's like I want people to laugh at me for the same thing my friends laugh at me about.
Yeah.
And that's an interesting thing because there's a lot of living room comedians just because they're just funny people.
Yeah.
They're just
As when
funny.
you're being yourself and you
Yeah.
feel totally comfortable. That's what's impressive about people that get up there and they can be completely yourself and can be completely natural on a stage in front of all these people. It's an unnatural environment.
Absolutely. It's
So
weird.
to be able to be just you in this fully unnatural
Yeah.
environment is a skill
So in
and a
my
level of comfort and confidence.
thank you. Thank you. Yeah, it definitely, like anybody doing comedy, hats off to you. Like if you can get up there. Like, there was a guy that got up last night and he was stiff. This was at the open mic after the Comedy Store. This was at, the Improv afterwards, and he was stiff. His jokes weren't worked through yet. His delivery was very like, and now I'm going to pause because I think this is where the laughter goes.
Mm-hmm.
But he was up there doing it and he was figuring it out. And if he does it long enough, if he keeps doing it and he pays attention, because just because you think something is funny doesn't mean it's funny. Pay attention, relate. That's just as, honorable as having it all worked out. There was something special about watching that guy, even though I left immediately after him and I was like, I'm done.
I can't.
I was like, this is part of his process.
It is.
And I hope he's out here doing it all the time.
Yeah. I have a deep respect for people that go up there and maybe they're not the best at what they're doing, but you see them constantly doing it. I have a huge respect for that. Even if it's not amazing, it's like, but they're
if
up
they
there and they're
keep going,
trying. And those are people that I never want to make fun of, and I never want to discourage because at least they're out there. At least they're in the arena. Do you know what I mean?
they're
in the arena.
They're doing
and
something.
they're battling it out, and they're
Yeah.
trying to do something, and that's not easy to put yourself out there.
And if you're a performer, and I would suggest any performer, anybody, public speaker, anybody, go do stand up. Just get that experience because you have to really lean into the discomfort. The discomfort is actually turning into part of my routine. I'm like, wow, this is great. I lean into awkward moments and I push them forward. And then I ride them through. And it's not always that smooth and, textbook like or whatever, but it's a very humbling, unique stage experience.
Do you feel that you are able to find a deeper understanding of yourself on stage through those moments, or a deeper understanding of who like your comedic persona is?
Well, you find out what you're made of. You find out what you're going to cry about later. You find out what your understanding level is. Let me rephrase this. I find out what I'm made of, what my understanding of myself is. If I have a bad set, you win some, you learn some. That's it. That's it. That's to me the rule of comedy. I'm going to say that to myself every day until I learn the next rule of comedy. I think that's maybe to me, it's like the first rule of comedy is you win some, you learn some. When you're working through new jokes, you got to treat each performance as an educational experience. So you're always learning every time. Every time. Watching other people sitting there writing at home, it's all educational.
It's kind of like have you looked into like the Stoic philosophy at all?
Absolutely. Seneca?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Marcus Aurelius.
Ah.
Yeah, I'm reading about that stuff right now because I've heard a lot about it.
Yeah.
And then I'm realizing that a lot of the way that I think about things falls in line with that.
Mm-hmm.
But, that's kind of what it is too. It's like you control the things you can control,
Yeah.
and the things you can't control, it's a matter of letting it go. And it's the same concept of like, I'm just going to show up and I'm going to do what I'm going to do. This is the part I can control.
Yeah.
But I can't always necessarily control the outcome of it, but I can learn something from it and
Right.
still keep doing it.
Right.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And I think one thing that helps me get through my day is letting go to what the experience turns itself into. Like I thought it was going to go this way, and then it turns into this thing over here. And the more I let go, the easier the days are. Just surrender to whatever it is that you have to do, and then honor what you love, and to keep doing what you love. I met a lot of people in New York that were like, "Yeah, I came out here to act, and now I'm working 3 jobs or 2 jobs to keep my apartment." And I was like, so what do you what do you do to stay engaged? I feel like we move to these big towns. Maybe we're ready, maybe we're not. I wasn't, but I did it anyways. And then you get lost in, now I'm living in LA, and then there's a party scene, and then there's a social scene, and then there's a I gotta work this job, and then I gotta work this other job, and I gotta live in a cool place, and I gotta have nice things to it. Like, where's your expression?
Yeah.
In all of that, where's your? I mean, you can be your own expression, but if you came out here to act, create it. If it ain't there for you, create your own. Create your own. There's no reason to be in action. There's just
especially not in these days when a lot of these creative things you can do at least on your own merit for a while. You know what I mean? It's like if you want to be a writer, like back in the day, you had to only focus on publishers that would buy your books and all this kind of stuff. Now, before the internet, now you have things like blogs where you can at least put something out. You have the concept of self-publishing where you can put a book out on your own and it shows up on Kindles and people can buy it and you can be your own publisher. Yeah. There's so many options nowadays. YouTubers, huge example of people creating careers for themselves. Off of just being themselves sometimes. Some of them are actually, some of them are comedians and they're creating sketches that are funny and that's why people come back to them. And others of them are really kind of more popular just for being who they are. And people gravitate towards that. So it's a really interesting time where you can take your creative life into your own hands.
Absolutely. Like, I gotta pull the pillow out.
You gotta get that cushion out your tushin.
I gotta get the cushion out the tushin.
Your words. I'm not trying to.
Yeah, it was my words from earlier. What did you just say again?
It's a great question. Oh, I see. You can take your creative life into your own hands.
Yeah, definitely. Now is you. There's no excuse. There's no excuse not to take your creative life into your own hands. And take big risks. I mean, what else have you got to do?
Yeah.
What have you got to really lose?
I'm just we talked about this the first time. It's that whole like, what are you waiting for concept?
Yeah.
There's a way to take big risks pragmatically. Say you're going to make a big move and you don't have a job yet, but you want to move. So you know that you're going to do this. You set a date for yourself, but during those 3 to 4 months that you're planning to move, you're going to save all the money you can. You're going to come into that move with a good stockpile of money behind you to reduce stress. So it's a pragmatic move. You're not going in broke like I'm just going to be crazy and be broke when I move.
But then you move to California like I did and get in a car accident on the way and all your money goes to that car accident and then it's plan
life.
B, and then that's life. So
that's just straight life. Yeah. Trying to make you tough.
Pragmatic.
Trying to make you tough.
But be pragmatic.
But like if you got a plan.
You can. No, that
and say if I want to move, well, maybe what can I do to make all the money I can to make this move possible?
When the plan only becomes the planning.
Yeah, you got to make sure the action happens.
You got to just do it. If you're feeling something and you're drawn to something that you love, just do it. Figure it out. Doesn't mean you have to rush either. It doesn't mean you have to wait forever.
It's part of that pragmatism.
I knew a guy that made an album for 5 years. You could have made 3 albums by now.
Yeah. Well,
Just
part of it is it's the practice of it. Creativity is about the practice, and you got to share it.
Mm-hmm.
You have to share your creativity so that you can receive feedback, so that you can see what people resonate with.
Mm-hmm.
Because sometimes they resonate with things you don't even realize they're going to.
Absolutely. And life is about a practice. It's not any place to get to.
Mm-hmm.
It's just this practice every day is like, okay, new day to practice life.
Yeah.
That's all we're doing. And then we go to sleep at the end of the day.
Yeah. It's like that's kind of thing is like if you're a writer and you write all the time, but you just write for yourself, no one ever sees it.
Mm-hmm.
Then what is its purpose now? If you're a writer and you share it no matter what, just because you just keep putting it out there because you are a writer and that's what you want to do.
Mm-hmm. You can be a writer though and not share it. You can't be a writer and just journal.
But I mean, if you want to make that like a career option,
right. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, if you want to take that to the next level, you can absolutely write for yourself. Sure.
Yeah. But yeah, you have to take a risk and let your stuff go. Because technically, did it really all come from you, or maybe was something experience, love, a thought, something, an idea traveling through and just kind of smashed you in the head, and then you are the paintbrush for whatever that thing is.
You're a reflection of your experiences and your influences.
And I don't know.
And it comes out through you, but maybe in a different voice, which may resonate with a different group of people.
Mm-hmm.
So your voice becomes important, and even if the message isn't new, because a lot of the messages are the same these days, of course.
Absolutely.
Tried and true things like stoicism. Those are tried and true concepts.
Tried and true concepts. I like the thing
for
about
a long time now.
I think I might have talked about this last time about reminding yourself of this limited time here in existence. To each day is an opportunity to create something. Do something that's you want to remember, something that makes you laugh. Do something that makes, you let go to being moved to tears. You allow this life to exist. I think one thing that helps me is to stop fighting and to exist, yet push for what you love and what you believe in, but stopping this fight that I'm having with myself. I heard it was in a movie or something recently, and they said, you never get rid of your demons. It was something like learn to live with them, learn to exist with them. It was a little bit more fluid than that.
No, but I hear what you're saying.
But it's kind of true.
It's kind of for me, it's a concept of self-awareness.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to a point where you realize, it's kind of like where you realize where your insecurities are, where you realize what weird experiences have caused strange little triggers in you that are going to affect you emotionally, or make you feel like you're not good enough in those moments. When you are at least aware of those, and those demons sometimes, I picture insecurities as demons too. But when you're aware of those things that are your demons, they can still exist, but they no longer have to control your decision making.
Mm-hmm.
You can see them and you can go, oh, okay, I see what you're doing there, but I'm going to do something different. So you separate them from your kind of instinctual reactions. Yeah.
When I was in New York, my diet changed a bit. I was eating a lot of carbs.
You get that pizza?
No. I had chicken parmesan pizza.
Ooh, I was in New York. I only ate gluten-free pizza.
Yeah.
Shout out to my friend Michelle. She was on the podcast. She was with me in New York, and the only time we ate pizza was gluten-free pizza because she do that gluten-free life.
Pretty nice that you can do that.
Mm-hmm.
No, I went gluten heavy. I was eating the shit out of some gluten, and and then she drank a lot of alcohol, which is something that I don't normally do. And I noticed that between drinking a lot of alcohol, eating a lot of carbs, my sugar levels were up, and a lot of snacks. that my mind was not firing like I wanted it to.
Mm-hmm.
Just in my everyday hustle.
It's like it clouds you up.
It's wild. Certain times, like things would enter my mind, and it would be like one time right as I was leaving, I had this thought enter my mind, and it was like, "Did you do enough? Did you do it? Did you go where you wanted to go? Did you do the things you didn't do it? You didn't do." I was like, "Blah," and I literally stopped myself in the middle of the street and was like, "All right, you need to relax, bro. Whoever you are in my head, you're not a schizophrenic, and you need to shut up inside there before I become a schizophrenic."
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but the breathing, the exercise, staying on your diet, even in travel. A lot of people think they can't do it when they travel, but if you want to do it, you can. Obviously, look at you. Gluten-free pizza. Now, maybe if you go to Taipei or Pad Thai or someplace like that, I think Pad Thai is actually a food.
It is.
There's probably a Pad Thai.
You never know.
Yeah, I went to Pad Thai. No, I've never heard that.
You never
before.
know.
Like, I just got back from Pad Thai.
You say it real confident, though. People will believe you.
Yeah, there's Pad Thai and...
No, but it's so true. The foods that we eat really do affect us.
Absolutely.
I've been on a really good kick lately. I haven't eaten out in any restaurants or anything in the past maybe like 3 weeks. So everything I eat is groceries,
Good.
things that I'm cooking, and very not processed snacks. Like if I have a snack, it's like I bring a bag of mixed nuts, some carrots, some celery, some kind of basic foods.
That's the way to go.
Yeah, and but I call those guilt-free foods too.
Yeah, you can just eat them.
Try to tell somebody at the end of the day, "Oh my God, I ate so much celery. I ate so many carrots. I can't believe it. I'm so fat." You can't say that. You sound ridiculous.
You sound like an idiot. Yeah.
You sound stupid.
Oh my God. That's really funny. I ate so much celery today.
Right?
All that water.
So I call those guilt-free snacks. So when I fill my home with foods that, like, if I say I'm chilling, I'm Netflix binging, it happens. I do it. I've been watching a show called Captive. Okay, it's about people in hostage situations. I'm into it.
Okay.
So I'll watch hours at a time. But sometimes I buy a veggie platter, like a party-size veggie platter, keep it in my fridge just for me. And I pull it out for when I'm just at home on binge sessions. But like I said, you could eat a bunch of celery and carrots, and you can't complain to anybody about that. You sound like an idiot. You can't feel too bad about it.
Can't feel too bad about it.
I don't keep the Lay's potato chips in there because I'll eat that whole bag if I'm binging.
I'm telling you, yeah. I'm not a big
Doritos.
I'm not a
in
big
the house.
I'm not a big snack guy.
Yeah, in general, until you're in New York.
Till I was in New York, but even it wasn't so much snack. It was more like pizza. But
was it good pizza though?
Yeah, I found a couple good spots.
Yeah.
I can't remember the names, but
I wish I'd had some pizza with glutens in it.
You should have had a couple of glutens that just went for it.
I had no glutens. Just had the regular.
Sometimes you got to let your glutens go.
Yeah.
You got to let it go to the glutens.
I did it for my friend though. We was in Brooklyn. We were in
What
Brooklyn
part?
that day. I don't know where I was. Met up with a high school friend who lives in Brooklyn now. He gave us a tour.
You don't know you were in. You don't know if you were in Williamsburg or Park Slope or. You remember?
Nope. Took a subway to Brooklyn. And it was all Brooklyn to me.
Brooklyn's big. What subway did you take? Do you remember?
No. What are you, crazy? I was lost. The whole time I was in New York, I was straight lost. Okay.
Had you been there before?
No. That was our first time. We hadn't ridden a subway before. We were, the one day we're idiots. The one day we chose to go to Central Park was the day that we were massively hungover. Just what were we doing?
Yeah, Central Park's a commitment.
Just dragging ourselves out of the hotel, uncomfortable. Then we stopped at some restaurant in the middle of Central Park just trying to get like waters and drinks and probably French fries.
Yeah. Something just to get you through it.
Just anything to get us through it. And I was like, why did we pick this day to do Central Park? It's the worst idea ever.
I went to Coney Island when I was there.
Yeah? How was that?
Yeah, painful.
Painful?
Yeah, those rides just jacked me up. And I ate really shitty
because they're rickety.
Day. They're rickety rides.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was my manager's birthday and she wanted to go to Coney Island. So we all went to Coney Island.
Nice. Very nice. Our New York adventure was interesting in the sense that we thought we were going to go there and just do tourist things. We
Mm-hmm.
thought we were going to go to like the Statue of Liberty
Yeah.
and do, the basics.
Did you go to Statue of Liberty?
No, we saw it from a distance, eating probably like fish and chips somewhere on a pier.
Mm-hmm.
We did not go there. We missed out on a lot of those things. But the cool thing is that I didn't realize that I knew several people in New York. And once I was there and I tapped into that, every single night we were there, we had a tour guide.
That's
So
great.
we didn't wake up super early because
Mm.
but every single day we had somebody to meet up with that took us to places that we would never have found, and we just kind of went with the moment, you know. And they took us to places, and man, we ended up in this one nightclub that looked like a rich person's mansion, and it felt like
Mm-hmm.
it felt like the nightclub was in a living room, and there were yuppies dancing on ottomans, and there was a giant fireplace, and it was just a weird, strange environment. We
Yeah.
were out eating French food, eating escargot at like
Mm-hmm.
2 or 3 in the morning. Like you can't do that here.
Wow.
Escargot's not served at 2 or 3 in the morning here.
Did they serve escargot in L.A.?
I don't know, do they? You tell
Some,
me.
I don't know. I've only had it in
They
New
serve it in
York
San
and
Diego, but not at 2 or 3 in the morning.
had
I'll
it
tell
in
you that.
France once on my 35th birthday. I think it was 35th birthday, and I had escargot 3 times in one day. And at one time of the day, I was like, I have 30 snails inside of my stomach right now.
It's
And
good
I
to
felt it.
acknowledge.
Oh, I love escargot, though.
It's good though. All you gotta do is put a good little good garlic sauce
You
on
could eat
them.
the snails out in your front yard.
You could. I'm not gonna try it,
You could.
but you totally could. But yeah, put them in a good sauce. They're delicious.
So, what was your favorite part about New York?
There was something very invigorating about not knowing what time it was.
Okay.
We left the nightclub. I'm sitting here thinking it's 10 p.m. It's 2. And then we went to that French restaurant.
And then
And then
it's still
we're
going
going
till
back to the
4:30.
hotel at 4 something in the morning
Yeah.
with, roasted chicken and escargot in our stomachs.
Mhm.
And it's like, what? Like, where are we? There was no time.
Right.
There was no time for us there. So that was kind of cool. And the people were very forward, and that was a little bit refreshing, to be honest. A little bit refreshing.
You like the forwardness, yeah.
I like
Nice.
I do like people when they're clear because it
Yeah.
gives me permission to be clear.
Oh, okay, great.
And I like to be. I like to be honest with people.
Yeah.
And sometimes, but I'm also a little bit introverted and I'm a little bit shy.
Okay.
So sometimes I need almost someone else's, they're giving me permission when they're very clear and forward with me
All
for me
right.
to return that.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So with people like that, that's what I could see. We also saw some beautiful Broadway shows.
What'd you see?
We saw The Color Purple
Nice.
with the lady from Orange is the New Black was in it.
Oh,
The
cool.
one who plays Tasty. It was amazing. It was a really
That's
great show.
great.
It's one of those shows where people are so talented, their voices are so amazing that you cry
Yeah.
and you don't mean to. Just because their talent is that overwhelming.
Yeah.
And it gets a full standing ovation. And you look over and there's men crying to your left and your right. Everybody's just so swept up in it,
Wow.
We saw Paramore, which was a Cirque du Soleil show that I believe is closed now. My friend was in that.
Wow.
My friend Sam was in that.
Great.
Yeah, that was an amazing show. So it was just very clear that it was a place of talent.
New York?
Yeah.
It is a
lot
place of
just
talent. It is.
place of
It's
talent. LA is a place of talent and amazing people. New York is a place of talent.
Yeah.
They're hubs for those kinds of things.
I went to the second to the last circus. The second, it closed the next day, Ringling Brothers. I
Oh,
grew up going to Ringling Brothers in Barnum and Bailey
Sure.
College.
I would have believed that.
I said college because I almost sneezed. I was like, but I applied for Ringling Brothers in Barnum and Bailey College, and my dog ate my application. And that's a true story. My dog
In a
ate
real way?
in a real way.
What? And I remember Times Square.
Hmm.
I didn't really enjoy Times Square.
Yeah,
I was like, way smaller than you think it is, because TV makes everything look bigger, including the heights of men. The famous men you
Yeah.
meet, they're always a little smaller than you think they're
Oh yeah,
gonna
like Al
be.
Pacino and
Not like I can complain. I'm 5'2". Everyone's taller than me. But they're always
not my mother.
no, she's smaller?
No, yeah, she's smaller than you.
Yeah, well, my aunts are smaller than me too. And I wear heels. And I have to bend down to hug them. It's the only time I get to feel tall in my life. But yeah, so it's smaller than you think, but also it's like daytime bright. We went there at nighttime. It's so bright, and those creepy characters.
Yep.
There was a baby man
Mm-hmm.
in a diaper was chasing after me. Michelle got caught up with what was it, Woody from like Toy Story or something.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, but they were chasing us around.
Wow.
And they were trying to grab on us, and like they try to take pictures with you, and then they want tips or whatever. But I was just running away.
Here's a tip.
They made me uncomfortable, is what they did.
Yeah. See, here's a tip. Stop making me so uncomfortable.
Yeah, I should have said it, but I didn't feel bold enough in the moment. Didn't feel bold enough. But yeah, it was kind of a weird spot. Just real, not real.
Yeah, Times Square is interesting.
Yes,
I mean,
guess
I was in
very touristy. So.
Yeah, I lived there in 1995, which was right before The Lion King came. And once The Lion King came, once Disney got a hold of Times Square, they cleaned it up a bit.
Yeah, it was a good show actually, though.
Yeah, I'm sure it was amazing, but it was.
I mean, I've only seen it in San Diego.
Yeah, but they like got rid of all the like strip clubs and all the dirtiness and a lot of the prostitution. I don't know if there's still prostitution down there. It didn't seem like it, but
I didn't see much of that. I didn't see a lot of. That's the kind of weird thing now that I'm thinking about it. If we're making those correlations, I didn't see a lot of that naughty business in New York. But I went to Seattle. Recently.
Mm-hmm.
And I was only there for 2 days. The first day I spent wandering around by myself, and the second day I spent with my friend mostly. But the first day I was just walking around. I mean, I saw a lot of people on drugs, hard drugs, meth drugs.
Oh, you mean like
heroin drugs?
Yeah.
The drugs you don't want to be dabbling in, but really just forward on the streets and real outward. And I didn't actually see that in New York, so I don't know if I was just in the wrong places to see that, but I was surprised to see it so outward, I guess, in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
Beautiful city.
Seattle's great.
Yeah, I loved it. But it was just that. I think that was the one thing that surprised me. I guess I just wasn't expecting.
You saw some open.
It's open. Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't hit the alleys.
Don't hit the alleys. That's just the thing. I almost got jumped in an alley.
No.
This girl was gonna jump me in an alley.
A girl.
Yeah, and I had to do some sort of like.
What you mean a girl was gonna jump you?
She was. She raised her fist. She was about to punch me in the face, and I did some sort of like chubby checker move, a Muhammad Ali switch foot thing, and like we're just like, "What are you doing?" And she's like, she didn't say nothing. I got out of her space though.
I can't even imagine punching someone in the face. My body doesn't even.
That with that ring on you got, you could knock somebody a new third eye.
I probably could. Your meditation would.
Yeah, here you go. I'm gonna make you meditate now, punk. Bop.
Yeah, I'm not very violent, but
really, I thought you might be.
No, I'm very peaceful. Very peaceful. So yeah. So what all in all, what did you come back with from New York? Now that you're getting back into your LA swing.
To keep working hard, to work harder, to not settle into just settling on the level of my ability. When you get your ass kicked and then you go through like an emotional type thing, you come back with this like, well, you can't break me right now because my fire is building. And that every once in a while in your life, you got to take an ass whooping.
It's good for you, technically.
It's good for you, and it's just part of it. You're just going to go through an ass whooping every once in a while. And that doesn't mean it was bad. It doesn't mean I didn't have amazing experience. It doesn't mean I didn't have amazing shows. It doesn't mean I didn't have my experience. But when you go into something, go into it ready for just the experience. And when expectation starts to lead to disappointment, take out the expectation and just have the experience and see what happens.
That's where it gets us, though.
It made me stronger. I didn't know what to do for the first 3 days I was back. I couldn't get out of bed really. And you got to work at it. Whatever you want to do, you got to work at it. You got to take risks. You got to jump into the fire knowing you're going to get burned.
Mm-hmm.
And that's how you toughen up. That's how you know yourself. I didn't make any money while I was over there. It was crazy. Yet I was completely taken care of. I always had things to do, and I always had somebody like rooting for me.
Yeah.
As long as I was rooting for me.
Yeah. It's interesting though too because it reminds you of the benefit of community.
Absolutely.
And as I reflect, because I'm constantly reflecting these days.
Yeah.
And my happiest times in my life have been when I felt like I was in some sort of a strong community.
Our community's great.
Where I knew who my people were,
Yeah.
and we were all very, very, very together and very supportive of each other.
Yeah.
And it's nice when you can find those kinds of environments, for sure.
And if your community's not there, if you feel like you don't have one, start to build it.
Mm-hmm.
Create a night, create an event, do something, open yourself up to it, and be cool. Talk to people, be interested in them.
People love it when you're interested in them.
People love it when you're interested in them.
It's just true. It's the easiest way to get to know people.
Yeah.
Easiest
so I suggest to anyone to go to New York City. I had a bunch of other stories I was going to tell and this and that, but like really, it just showed me who I am, where I'm at, what I'm capable of, and that art divides its audience. You're going to divide your audience, but that's okay. The more specific you are, the more you'll divide your audience. So be okay with that. Be okay with being you.
That's the most important part.
And don't get too lost in just being somewhere. I live in Los Angeles. Okay, great. Now, how do I be fully me? Because if I lived in Seattle, Cleveland, Chicago, Philly, Iowa, wherever the hell I was, I live there. Now, how do I be fully me in whatever it is that I'm doing?
That's been my entire quest lately.
Yeah.
I feel like, that's been definitely what I'm working on. Because I want to be able to go into whatever situation and just retain that. If you have that core to return to, that foundation of who you are, you're never completely lost because you have something to go back to.
That
and
feeling.
You have a confidence in that.
Absolutely. It's a fine balance. And there's no answers. There's just experience.
Mm-hmm.
And then you come out with something. But it's all working towards your evolution to be better, to understand life and what you love. And it's interesting because I feel like I lower my expectations of what life is supposed to be.
In what way?
That there's some place to get. This is it. This is life. And just keep experiencing, processing, understanding, winning, failing, living, breathing, good days, bad days.
If you could choose, where would you see kind of your ideal life situation?
Well, I think there's levels to that. In one way, I'm living it. In another way, I would like to not worry about bills. It just depends on what angle I'm coming at it. If it's, I want to live a life choosing my life and everything that I do, taking big risks and being adventurous and living outside my comfort zone while I'm doing that. If it's, I want more money and I want more notoriety and I want more, I just want more, well, I'm working on that too. I think I just want to keep choosing to do it, to choose my life. And I want a boat.
Boats are great.
Boats.
That's awesome. Well, what are you up to next? What do you have planned?
I'm at the Hollywood Bowl on the 23rd of June. I'll be doing like a little pre-show pep rally for the Jason Mraz 40th birthday party.
Oh, that sounds fun.
Yeah, that'll be really cool. And that's what I got coming up. I got another show July 7th as well. Java Joe's. I'll probably be back in New York in August to give it another whirlwind. Just writing jokes, thinking of ways to make people laugh.
It's beautiful. You're making it happen.
Thanks.
And I'm into it.
Thanks for having me again.
Of course. I was really curious to hear about what all went down. Thank you, Billy.
Thank you.
All right, everybody. That's it for this one, and I hope you enjoyed it. Also, let me know if there's ever any topics that you want to hear come up on this podcast. Thanks for listening, and I hope you'll keep joining me every Tuesday for new episodes. If you're feeling friendly today, subscribe and leave a nice rating on iTunes, or even just share it with one person this week. I'd really appreciate it. If you want to keep in touch with me, I'm on Instagram and Twitter at Courtney Diamond, or you can head over to CourtneyDiamond.com to keep up with my blog. And with that, I'm out of here. Hope you all have an amazing day or night, and I'll talk to you soon.